A warm welcome from the Lakshmi Srinivasan Engineering College and WCG Group for today's workshop. And hope yesterday you had a session on the body area networks and bio in telemetry, and you have grasped a few knowledge regarding an biomedical design of and research aspects in an antenna. And today the session is on bio application design, and the session will be taken by Mr. Alan, technical team of WG Group. Participants, please enjoy the session, and if you have any queries, put up the chat, and please mute your audio and videos. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Good morning to all and all present here. I am Alan, working in technical team of Wilmar Communication. Hello. It's audible?
If it is audible, you can proceed.
Okay. Okay, ma'am. I'm Alan. I am working as a technical team in Wilmar Communications. I thank Wilmar Communications to giving this opportunity, and I'm going to get into my session. The PPT is showing in the screen now.
Yes, the screen is visible.
Okay.
Alan, screen is visible. You start now.
Okay. Moving to the slide, here is the team. Here we are going to see about implantable antenna. What is implantable antenna? What is wearable antenna? And its challenges, and how they are going to test it using the human body modeling. And next, we are going to see about its applications and advantages and future enhancement. And moving to the next slide, I'm going to the topic which is given to the workshop. It is bioinformatics antenna system design. First, what is bioinformatics? This bioinformatics referred as integration or interlinking of computers, softwares, and database. Once again, I repeat, it is the interlink of computers, softwares, and database. Here, we are going to design an antenna. So we need a software. Here we are going to design an antenna in software called ANSYS. And this designed antenna is going to collect the information and is going to transmit to the medical devices like computers or something. And there it's going to be stored as a database. So this interlink is known as bioinformatics. Interlinking of this software ANSYS and medical devices as computer and storing it as a database. This interlink only known as the bioinformatics. And moving to the next slide, you have the doubt of what the role going to be played by the antenna here in biomedical. Okay, you have all the doubts and questions like this or this spot. This antenna is going to be implantable in human bodies or just mounted on the skin to make communication between the medical devices. With this help of this antenna, we can able to monitor human. I give some example. Consider you're in the Tamil Nadu and you are consulting doctor or his hospital in the Karnataka or different state. By placing antenna in your body, you are going to transmit your health information to the doctors and this hospital medical devices. It's going to be stored as a database. With this database, he is going to analyze the total database and he can prescribe you the medicine, and he can tell your health is at a good one or you have some diseases detected, so that it is easily can be communicated, you can be updating health. For example, nowadays in many multi-specialty hospitals, they are implanting the antenna for pregnant ladies in the left hand, so that they can be monitored easily their baby's health and mother's health So this pregnant lady no need to go to each and every checkup to the hospital. From the home, she can get information about her health and about her baby's health. I already told this antenna is going to be implanted or going to be just mounted on the skin. So this antenna divided into two types. One is implantable antenna and another one is expandable or wearable antenna. First, I am moving to the wearable antenna in the next slide. First, you have to know about a wearable device. This is going to be wearing. This device is going to be like a smartwatch or fitness band or like a belt. This wearable device is going to be used in the field of health and entertainment and rescue and security. But we are going to focus on healthcare. Here. In healthcare, it's going to detect blood pressure, sugar level, and glucose level, and cancer detection too. So it also plays a major role in biomedical application, this wearable devices. Here I told this wearable antenna. This wearable antenna is going to be used in dual mode, such as on-board and off-body, or gather information from interface as for this on-board and off-body communication. So I'm on it. While collecting the information from the sensor, the antenna is going to collect the information from the sensor about your health. That time, this antenna is going to work in, comes under the on-body communication. While transmitting this information from antenna to medical devices, it comes under the off-body communication. So it's going to act in a dual mode. In slide, you can see we have deferred the colors as blue and red, on body and off body. You can be easily get into it. In on-body communication, it's going to its operating frequency around 10 megahertz. While it is transmitting to the medical device, it comes under the off-body communication. It comes under 2.45 megahertz. So it's going to act in two different frequencies, and so it is going to work in dual mode. And another one challenges in this wearable antenna is, while designing and optimization, this antenna should come under the negative gain value. The gain value must be in negative. If it is not negative, it falls into the positive value, then this antenna is not suitable for as a wearable antenna. So this is one of the challenges this antenna designing. This will be explained in tomorrow's class in the design part. I'm moving to the next slide. I'll move to the implantable antenna. The term implantable, when you have the question, so we are going to be implanted. So we need surgery. This surgery is going to be major or minor. No, these antennas are implanted into the body without any major surgery. If surgery requires also, it is a minor surgery only. It can be taken, this antenna as implantable like a capsule, like a tablet implant. Using a laser injection, we can easily inject this antenna into our body. And this antenna is going to be made of 20 types of, there are 20 types of materials is used. In that, based on our organ we choosing and tissue structure we choosing, we have to choose the material. Material for all or not it's not a usual material. It's going to be converted 2 or 3 metals into a composite material. So this 20 types are going this material based on the organ and tissue we are choosing. We have to select these materials. And this implantable antenna have two types. Movable implantable antenna and fixed implantable antenna. Moving the movable implantable antenna Example, you can see the side that he having a belt and the capsule he has getting it. So that we can take example as capsule, which have the orofin inside the capsule. As a tag, you can easily implement. So it's going to be moving in the stomach around its gun. It's able to capture image of the stomach and gather some information around the other organs too. And they are going to this capsule going to gather some information, right? This want to be received by some receiver. So you can see in the slide that be well with this kind of the stomach. So here use the well side of the stomach is going to act as receiver. So it's going to receive what image it's captured or what information it gathered is going to be received. And this belt is going to transmit this information to the medical devices. That is stored as a database. By analyzing the database, the doctors easily prescribe you what defect you having in that particular region or you are safe. So this mobile implantable antenna is also very useful in this field without any surgery. Moving to the next part, it is fixed implantable maker. This is in the chest in epidermis layer. In this condition, we require minor surgery because we cannot use a laser injection to fix this in the orbit from our body. So it's not good. So here we require minor surgery. How this works? By getting a command from the external device, this pacemaker is going to be, as per the command only, this pacemaker is going to be work. This pacemaker is going to give the electrical pulse, and this electrical pulse is to remove the blockage and make a way for the blood. Right? This electrical pulse is produced in the pacemaker, and the pulse removes the block where the block is present. So here we are going to place this pacemaker where the blockage is present. So it is going to make a bed for us easy. So this pacemaker comes under the fixed implantable antenna. It will be not movable. It's going to be fixed in a place. And another example you can see on the side, it is a hearing aid. At first, the microphone is going to get gather the sound, and it's going to convert this mechanical sound into the and going to sound in the electrical code. This code is going to pass to the coil, and this coil is going to transfer this codes to the device where we have implanted. This is the working of this hearing aid, and this also falls on the antenna, this implantable antenna. And going to the next slide is I want to the challenges in antenna design. Now it's audible, sir. Actually, quality and it should be in compact size and frequency and bandwidth and safety measures. In portability, we should have designed the antenna should not be heavy, and it should not be more weight, and it should be only weightless, because we are going to consume it or we are going to wear this. If it is more weight, we cannot bear this weight, and it's give some irritation to us, and it also will be harm to our body. So this antenna design should be in very weightless. And moving to the size, this design antenna should be in very small, not a big. It should be very small in size. And moving to the frequency, this antenna depends upon the frequency. Mainly, this antenna is depending upon the frequency. To avoid interference, there should not be any interference. If there is any interference, then it also harms our body. So this all comes under the challenges. And next, moving to the bandwidth. In biomedical application, only narrow band is used, not the wide band. Because the using of the narrow band is due to the it will be works only in the desired frequency. For example, if I am designing an antenna for 2.45 gigahertz, so this antenna should be worked only in 2.45 gigahertz. Why? Because it is going to be implantable in our body. If it is changing its bandwidth, it's also will harm our body. So we are in narrow band alone, it will be works in the desired frequency. If you go to wide band, it will be changing its frequency level and bandwidth to 2.5 or 2.6, and it will be move on to 3 or 4. It will be varying to the different frequencies. So here we are going to choose only the narrow band. Narrow band alone, it will be used in biomedical applications. And moving to the safety measures, the design antenna should not be harmful to the human in any way. Like SAR value should be acceptable, and we have see above bandwidth, and it's all comes under the safety measures. So, and next slide, on to the slide, frequency selection. That when we full type of images from low frequency to high frequency, here the selection also plays a major role. Low frequency, the signal is going to propagate along the body. Along the body means it can propagate inside to your body. In high frequency, the signal is not propagated along the body. It's going to propagate outside the body. If the signal cannot enter your body, then there will be no communication, and we cannot have information from that. Right? So, in medical applications, we are going to explore only the low frequency because it's going to enter our body, so we can get information. Also, it's not harmful for the body. And next is table is shown in a slide. Wait a minute. First three come under the narrow band. So this narrow band is usually implantable antenna. In where there will be a wide band we can use. There is only of the desired frequency. So it can be used as a the three will comes under the narrow band, and it can be used in the applications in implantable antenna. And next to two, it falls on the wearable devices. These frequencies can be recommended by our government to use in wearable antenna. And last is BAN. Gather some information from the class. It is going to use its frequency is around 4.1. This is only going to use in the security purpose like lockers and doors, some other things. And moving to the next slide, it's challenges in radiation effect, right? Wait a minute. In that, in bioapplication, there is a formula that near field should be less than 2d squared divided by lambda, that is wavelength. That should be less than far field. should be less than far field. Once again, I tell that is near field should be less than the 2d square divided by the wavelength, and it should be less than the far field. What is near field and what is far field? The near field is nothing but the antennas near area, and far field is nothing but antenna from the some distance is said to be a far field. If the magnetic field is in near field is high and electric field is less in the far field, it results in SAR value high. So SAR value, if it is SAR value is high, then it is very harmful to the human. So we should reduce this SAR value. What can we do? Then while designing stuff, we have to check the electric field should be in near field and magnetic field should be in far field. For example, electric coupled loop antenna can be give a best example for this, where the near field is electric field and far field is magnetic field. By using of this, we can reduce the SAR level and can be acceptable level. And next is directivity. This directivity is mainly depend upon the type of antenna we choose. I said already, it is electrical coupled loop antenna is one type, and monopulse antenna also can be used in biomedical application. It have only two applications. It can be used in biomedical applications and radar applications. And like this of some of the types of antennas like patch antenna, many are there. Based on the antenna we choose, we can choose the directivity either in omnidirectional or other directional properties. So based on the antenna type we choose, we can use the directivity. And next slide, it is specific absorption rate, SAR. It is nothing but a measure of electromagnetic energy absorbed by biological tissues or masses when exposed to the radiating devices. And once again I repeat, a measure of electromagnetic energy absorbed by the biological tissues when exposed to the radiating devices. Right? The maximum limit for SAR average over 1 gram and 10 gram of tissue is 1.6 and 2.0 watt per kilogram. This is given by our government. This is acceptable range for this 1 gram and 10 gram tissues. And how we are going to measure this SAR value? There are three ways. One is point SAR, mass average SAR, and volume average SAR. This point SAR is nothing but after you are designing your antenna, you are going to test this antenna, how it is working, what is the efficiency. So that only we are going to test this antenna using the human body modeling, which is the next slide it is. Coming to that part, you can be able to get some information and you can clarify this point, what is point SAR, mass average SAR, and volume for average SAR. Tell this relation. Point SAR is nothing but while you are testing this antenna in liquid or in semi-solid like a jelly type, you are going to calculate the SAR value. By using point SAR, you can calculate the SAR value. By having a needle, type of a needle, and injecting that, you can take and you can measure the SAR value. This comes under the point SAR. Mass average and volume average, you can see they will be fixing in animal tissues, and they will be fixing this antenna in fat, like pig fat. By that it's working, they are going to take a mass from that pig fat and volume, like mass or volume, so that based on that we are measuring, so it comes under the mass average SAR. For what you are going to human body modeling means, it's nothing but our human body is very sensitive, it is very harmful. it is very sensitive to everything. We cannot directly, we cannot fit this antenna to our body. It will suddenly, it can be failure, or it can harm our body. So we are moving to the human body modeling. They will be testing this antenna by fitting to the animal tissue like liquids, jelly, and fat. It also comes, this measurement also comes to two types, that is in vivo measurement and in vitro measurement. And this part, next human body modeling is going to be explained to you by Vinod Manoharan sir. I am handovering this session to the Vinod Manoharan sir, who is COH of Vima Communication. Please take over this session, sir.
Thanks to Alan for giving your presentation, and I'm very happy to inform the participants that Alan is a third year student, and being a third year as a faculty, I feel that you grant knowledge, a good knowledge and antenna, and moreover, this shows your interest and to the participants that is proud and that his professor got uploaded and next session will be continued to and I feel proud in sharing that he's an alumni of the Lakshmi institution, and moreover he is a student of me, and I feel happy in introducing himself, and now the session will be carried over with you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks a lot, ma'am. And very good morning to all of you. I'm Vinod Manoharan. I'm a co-founder of WC Groups. Now the session will be human body and human anatomy related things, right? Yesterday, one of my seniors gave some moral explanation about human body things. And today, is an Alan. He's a third student for 30 to final year students for Satyabama Institute of Science and Technology. He also working as past 1 year intern as an institute, as our group company. He's working as a human anatomy also. Now we go for a session. In before, just go more before slide live. Yeah. First of all, in a human anatomy based antenna design, so it's very, very, very recent and advanced training in present world now, right? In the we are concentrating on only two hooks. The first one is an SAR, specific absorption ratio, and the second one is the most important factor for antenna design and material selections. So we can select a material for appropriate sections for every organ having every organs having individual permittivity values, because in our skin having 4 types of layers, and each layer having each permittivity value, because each layer having each conductors, because the best example for conductor is our copper, right? The copper is equal to our neuron functions, because our neuron is the most highly accurable functions. So that we have to select a neuron is the perfect conductor, basic things. So if you go for a perfect conductor means here we go for high dielectric constant but less conductive value materials, because that much of material only we can achieve the low radiation absorption values. Okay, so we have to select that kind of materials first of all. So if you select any of materials like a ceramic, alumina, or else Orlan paper-like materials, so those materials are called as an implantable materials. If you select Orlan copper materials means that material is equal to the stickers. Those you all see about the stickers, right? If you place the sticker means it's give us some structure that the same progress only is the same progress will be implemented in the implantable here. If you select, just think about your heart. Okay, if I'm placing a sticker-based antenna for a copper material antenna, if I'm placing that antenna in, we have to measure in that place. The first thing, we have to measure a BP level for a heart. That means a BP level means inlet blood flow value and outlet blood flow value. It's a very, very important thing for our human body, right? So in a human body, you all know about the 4 walls. The first 2 walls, the top of the 2 walls is the inlet walls, and remaining 2 walls is the bottom wall. But the bottom walls is in walls. So in a second, we have to calculate in the word of laptop, right? In that laptop is the inlet and top is an outlet. It's a Latin word. So that the meaning is a laptop. So if you go for a lap means the 1 drop of blood is inside the heart. And the top means the 1 drop of blood is outside the heart. The time second will be the both two of it is 0.1528 nanoseconds. That's the exact value. And that exact value, if you miss that exact value means whether the value is in a high means it's called as a high BP. Whether the value is a low means it's called as a low BP. This is the function we have to analyze based on the antenna probability. So each and every organ having an individual things. That means individual working functions, right? In a kidney also having the same. In kidney also having a phenomenal function because two of kidney is there now. The 2 kidneys are joined to the Sabic spots. That Sabic spot is like a small tank. In the tank having the capacity of 20 ml. If more than 20 ml means our kidney is in a bulged one. So we identify our kidney has to be it's going to be a damaged one. These are the kind of things that we have to analyze based upon the antenna-oriented progress. Okay, I'm going to the before slide, Lejo. And that frequency structure is there, na? Frequency structure. Yeah. Before. Next one. Yes. So these kind of the bands we'll have to use in biomedical application things. In India, we have concentrate on a 3 set of body area networks. The first one is an implantable section. In that implantable section is called an MICS sections. In that MICS sections, we have to use 401 to 406 megahertz of band. In this band, we have to use before 4 to 5 years before itself. And at present, we have to use a 5.2 gigahertz. It's a UWB frequency, right? In that UWB frequency also, we have used in an implantable section. That is the recent trending mode. So these kind of the bands we have to use. In a biomedical, yesterday one of person asked one question: what are the bands? What are the specific band frequency in biomedical applications? And now I tell the first band is 400 megahertz to 410 megahertz. This is the first set of frequency band for biomedical application, and that second set of frequency band is 2.12 to 2.245 gigahertz. That's also in a second set of biomedical frequency band, and third one is 5.12 to 5.25 gigahertz, and the final one is 12.85 gigahertz. These are the application band for the implantable sections or expandable sections, whatever it is. That's not a matter, but these frequency only we have to use in a biomedical. That means body centric area network analyzing modes. Okay, and move on to next slide. Next slide. Yes. So if you go for challenges for an antenna design means we have 2 conditions. The first one is a radiation zones, and the second one is the directivity of the perturbations. Okay, the first one is radiation zones. So radiation zones always those are all know about. There are 2 fields there, as a far field one and as an near field one. But in a general antenna, all of the antenna near field is in a 0 and far field only the maximum power is in a transfer one. But in a biomedical oriented things it's slightly different, because a near field also having some values, and also a far field. The far field is a maximum is 30 meter alone. We can't move on the more than 30 meters. So we have to use in a inside. That means a near field also we having some values. In that antenna, we have to analyze in the 2 categories. Here the show is in a formula is right. Far field and near field formula is a 2d squared by lambda. Here the d is the distance between the organ to the antenna. That is called as a d squared value. So you have to consider that d is a very important factor, because in a heart only we have to place the antenna is in a direct mode, but in other than devices, all the cell walls is very sensitive one. So we can't directly place the antenna in that cells. So we need to put some distance. That distance is called as a d here. Okay. If you take an intestines, because intestine is a reason developing for an antenna microwave system design progress. So if I select an intestines means in intestines having two types of one. First one is in a small intestines and second one is in a big intestines. So that means a huge intestines and huge intestines. Both intestines will connect in the one of the part. One of the part, that mid part is called as a bioincereblax. In that bioincereblax having the wall thickness is more than 2.5 mm. In that wall only we have to use a antenna. In the above small intestines also we can't use, and then the big intestines also we can't use that antenna. So we have to place that antenna in the middle of that things. This means we can analyze in both directions. So we can use bidirectional antenna. So in biomedical applications, you have to design, you must to design for a bidirectional antenna alone, not for an unidirectional section. So that is the important category. That is called directivity analysis of here. Okay. So directional properties, that's not a medical purpose problem, but this is a design oriented characteristics. So we need to design in that bidirectional alone, not for an omnidirectional pattern. And move on to the next slide. SAR. Before itself, SAR is the very important factor, because how much of the radiation accepts on a human body is also having some calculation that ranges, because it's based upon a tissue, in a human tissue oriented things. Okay, in a human tissues having the tissue wall having the density of around maximum is 2.25 kg per watt alone. So we can able to design in below 2.2 kg per wall. That is the main important progressive for specific absorption ratio, because in a human body, each and every organs having some of each and every organs emitted the radiation also, because in a human body, as a knee is there na, in a knee every second you have to walk. In that walk position in our knee will release a 0.15 kg per watt radiations. So each and every organs, every organs emitted the radiation. That radiation's values are very minimal one. So if you go for an external placing of external antenna means, and that antenna also is equal to that radiation emission means our human bodies are not harmful one. So we can select low SAR material based things. So if you go for a metamaterial oriented progressive means, we directly enter into a low as SAR value things. Okay, that is the important categories. That's only Alan will explain the point SAR and mass average SAR value, and then volume average SAR value things. Okay, and move on to the next slide. It's a human body modeling, and a human body is a very complex one, because a large number of system is there. So different electromagnetic characteristics also is there, and every part also having a different permittivity value. Yesterday, one of the persons asking one questions is if you design a one antenna, we have to implant in our human body means we can able to analyze the entire human body. Yesterday I told this is not a possible one. Why I'm told this is not a possible one means each and every organs having every dielectric constants, so that we can't able to do the entire process for a single antenna. So that we have to design each and every part having a individual antennas. Okay, so that's important things. During the measurement investigations, we have to concentrate on two things. One is an electrical conductivity value, so electrical perimeter value, and then SAR value, then SNR value, signal to noise ratio value, and also a front back ratio, FBR value also. So why we go for an FBR here means, if antenna gives a backlobe, means a large amount of power will dissipate in that section. So our human body also, if the large amount of power will dissipate in that section means our and that place our human body is in a harmful one. So that that exact organ will damage. Say it's possible to damage one. So that we can eliminate the front back. We can always is equal to zero value. We have to consider equal to zero value for the three cases. Of first case is in a SIR, and second case is in a SNR, and third case is in a FBR values. Okay, so that is the measurement investigation progress. Those things are all verified at tomorrow's design oriented progress in a live demonstrations. Okay, and move on to the next slide. So these things only I have to explain. And a skin's having a lot of layers. So skin is having more than 4 layers in a hand. But in a chest or else a leg means it's having more than 7 layers. So each places we having a different layers. So in that layers, each and every layer is having a different conductivity values also. So if you go for if you place an antenna in a skin oriented progressive means, first you have to consider in which layer you have to concentrate. Is a first layer or second layer or third layer. These things are the important thing for a selection of material. That is selection of material progressives. Okay. Then move on to the next slide. Yes, this is the measurement of antennas. There are 2 type of measurements is there. So first one is an in vitro measurements, and second one is an in vivo measurements. And an in vitro measurement means it's a phantoms. So phantoms means we can directly analyze our tissues via some liquids or semi-solid gels for etc. things. If you go for a surgery means if the doctor go for a surgery means before cut that skin they will apply some jelly mode here that places. In the gel is called as an electrolyte gels. In that electrolyte gels will keep it's giving the highly permittivity value, and also it's covered the over bleeding functions also. That's why we have to apply the electromagnetic gels. Electrolyte gel is there. That is called a liquid based analysis mode. In that way, in vitro methods. In that in vitro method, it's mainly used for deep implanting antennas sector. In a deep implanting antenna sector like heart or kidney. Or else liver based over things, or else lung based things. Those places only we have to use for use this. Okay. So in vivo measurement means it's directly entered into animal tissues, because in our world the first telemetry test is done by the animals alone. That means a rat is the best example for rat. So in a rat tissues also having a different modes. Because a rat skin is having a 14 layers. So in that 14 layers in between having a fat layer and muscles layers, and each and every layers are having. So the 14 layers having a different permittivity value, then different conductivity value, etc. things is there. So if you go for if you're placing an antenna in a rat means, you have to consider the skin. That means the hair growth value also. The hair also having some permittivity value. So we have to consider that permittivity also here. So I'm calculating that hair permittivity, then skin permittivity, and more or less which one is the equal to that permittivity value, or else in the mid of the permittivity value, I'm taking that material as a base material. So these are the progress to select the measurement techniques. Okay, and move on to the next slide. So human body modeling, and a human body having a different kind of section. Muscles, and also that means muscles means tissues functions also having bone functions. Bone is different for muscles, because bone permittivity value is different from blood flow values. Okay, bone also having 3 layers, ceramic layers, then iron layers, and then calcium layers. There are the 3 layers. Is there in a ceramic layer is an out layer, and then mid layer is called as an iron layer, and last layer is called as a calcium layer. In that calcium layer, the bone is very soft one, like a sponge. It's a sponge word. And then each layer having a blood flow. In that blood flow, we have to analyze whether the bone is in a broken one means we have to analyze which layer has to be in a broken one first thing. So whether the first layer or second layer or third layer. If you go for a first layer means we have to directly we have to take some proxy medicines, and that proxy medicine is there. So you have to directly apply that proxy medicine in that particular bone sector means 3 to 4 days is enough to cure that things. And then second layer means you take an iron oriented progress, and third one is you have to take both threes. So that's why that is the process. Last year we have to submit on a pattern progress for a bone analysis structure. Is a handheld scanner like a mobile phone, 7-inch mobile phone. In that mobile phone you have to place the broken bone means in that bone that scanner will work on it. It's a 5.2 gigahertz working progress frequency range. So it's a scanning that exact bone structure, and then that bone structure in which layer have to suffer. That layer will be, and that layer is exactly move on to the next window, and that window we have to clear, and that layer how much of the broken will occur. That means that the size of the broken, length of the broken and width of the broken you have to calculate in that scanner. Then we have to apply that particular treatment alone. We don't go for an entire treatment, because an entire treatment process, if you go for an entire treatment process means it's give us some side effect, right? So we can avoid that things. So we go for a exact and which layer we have to support, so that we go for that layer alone. So that layer only we have to take medicine parts, or else a treatment part, or else undergoing a treatment means we have to save. So that in that the world first scanner, now it's in a pattern progress. Okay, so that is the important things. Tomorrow we have to design an antenna for implantable cases. Not only for an implantable, this is the base material antenna. In that antenna, we have to place both implantable or expandable, whatever it's. And then on the particular antenna, we have to change the material itself. So we have to change the material for a wearable condition means how it's work on it, or else in a normal material means how it's what is the progress. We have to explain that things is for a result oriented progress. Okay, and move on to the next slide. So this is the applications, and right now I'm explaining the bone function and everything is there now. So these are the applications oriented progress. I think this is enough to know about the biomedical progressive systems. So tomorrow we have to see a design progress for how to design antenna for biomedical applications. Not only for a biomedical application, the same thing only we have to use a general antenna design also, but it's slightly different from biomedical application. So we have to explain what is the difference between a general antenna and then biomedical antennas. Okay. Now move on to the query sections. Is there any queries means? So please ask now.
Vinod.
Yes, ma'am.
We have a small query. Now the students of second year,
Okay,
they
ma'am.
have grasped some few knowledges regarding bio applications and bioinformatics, all the things. But
Okay, ma'am.
during this period of leave, can you suggest where they should start and what preparation they should start to get into this field by learning what?
Yeah, okay, ma'am. After finish this queries, I'll explain the basic things. How to start this antenna, how to enter this field, and everything will be, I'll explain.
Okay.
So now you ask any queries, ma'am, please.
I put it in the chat.
Sorry, sir.
Sir, one question I put it in the chat box.
So what is mean by essay?
Yes, could be here in the DPE is there, sir.
Yes, sir. So TP is a time pulse, sir. So oriented antenna only we have to calculate this type of model. Not only for every all the antennas.
Okay. So what was the ERP means what, sir?
EARP is a radiation oriented progress property oriented thing, sir. So it's we go for a PQRS value means we get a beam width of the antenna. So we have to calculate that beam width in the in a theoretical manner, means we go for a EA architecture.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Yeah, FR4 is the base material, so we can use all the things, but in special for implantable antenna we can't use. In expandable antenna we use FR4. In a real-time project-oriented biotelemetry means we go for a lot of things. First, we have to design an antenna. After that, we go for the transmission and receiving section, and then you have to place the antenna in inside. Means we get an permission. After getting that permission, only we have to place the antenna in inside. Then only it's go for a real-time oriented projects. Here we can design an antenna to detect the fatal characteristics. Yes, ma'am, we can detect. In fact, also having some electrical conductivity values, so we can able to place antenna in a fatal characteristics also. Yes, yes, sir.
Anything is there for real-time measurement?
No, sir. In a biomedical oriented, you can't see about you can't see in a IEEE papers.
Only that only.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Today nice session, sir. You are very talented, sir.
Thanks a lot, sir. Thanks a lot. Can we use this biometric system detection? Biometric system detection means I didn't get your questions. I didn't understand your question, so please ask clearly.
They are asking, can we use this biometric detection using the help of biotelemetry?
Yeah, yes, we can use biotelemetry interface.
That's what they are expecting.
That at present, the ECG having ECG and EEG sector is there. In past 7 years before, if you see that ECG means having 72 lead is there. But now they are placing only 4 leads alone, and the 4 leads we have to use a patch antenna characteristics now, so that it's easy to detect, and then it's give us some accuracy value also compared to sensors.
The other one, madam, is asking about the fetal antenna.
Yes, ma'am.
For fetal
What
signal
type of
detecting, what antenna and what is the frequency rule?
In a fetal means we go for 900 MHz. 900 MHz means easy to find fetal characteristics. In biometric system is fully security purpose, so that I asked, can we use this? Yeah, yes, sir. We can use security also. It's security purpose also. At present, in Indian Army, all the soldiers having is having this type of antenna in inside of human bodies, inside of his hand. Yeah, welcome, sir. Any other queries or questions? I think you all feel bored, right? 2 days only for theory sessions. So tomorrow we go for a design-oriented progress. In the design, we can use ANSYS, because compared to all the EM softwares, ANSYS give accuracy for 98.85%, so that we go for an ANSYS designs. In that ANSYS designs, also having a Phantom model also is there. I'm sure it all the things is tomorrow. Okay. Sir, is there any home occurred to the Phantom while using Phantom? No, ma'am. It does not give any harm. Okay, I'll give some small introduction about this field right at present now. First thing, this is the most interesting field because compared to other than of engineering fields, it's a very, very unique one and also it's a special one. If you go for a one antenna design means you need to study about all the papers, right? In a UG students means first year to final year, you have to study more than 40 papers. In that 40 papers, 42 papers, I think, right? And that 42 papers, you have to study in a department-oriented paper means it's more than 30 papers. And the 30 papers plus additionally, you have to study the max papers for 4 papers. So the 34 subject is there. So entire 34 subject, if you know means, then only you can able to design a single antenna. We can't design without this help because each and every sector is having a interlink for these things. Okay, if you go for a matrix, that means the first thing, the engineering first year, you have to study the matrix theory, right? All the EM solvers is working on a matrix theory under progress. In that matrix theories, you have to do one sum. You have to find eigenvectors. Then you have to change the matrix into a zero diagonal 0 or else upper diagonal 0 or lower diagonal 0 things, right? That the same procedures only do here alone. That's each and every EM software do that same things as alone because matrix is very, very important for engineering students. So here also we have to use that section alone and move on to the next year. If you studied as in a signals and systems, right? In that signal system is very, very important things. In that signal systems, you have to study in a Fourier transform, inverse Fourier transform, Z transformations, and that means IFT, IDFT, or something else, right? The same thing only here also we have to use it. Tomorrow we'll explain the design progress, and the day I'll told where we have to use that signal analysis process. Okay, and move on to next thing as a TLW. It's a transmission line and waveguide process. It's also the very important one for a design characteristics. Each and every antenna design, we need to know about transmission line properties. Rectangular waveguide or circular waveguide, whatever it's, we need those properties. And also the very important things is Smith chart. So Smith chart help, we can't able to design an antenna, and also we can't able to integrate the antenna into a real-time systems. So impedance matching is very, very important. So Smith chart also is very needed one for us. And move on to the next is an antenna design, antenna and wave propagation something. That name I can't get clearly. Sorry, I don't know about clearly. In the paper is there, and the paper you have to study about the basic things of antennas. What is meant by antenna, and what are the types is there, and what is the error probability value for each and every antenna characteristics, right? So we need that things because how to select an antenna. That process will comes over that progress. And move on to the next, we have to study in RF and microwave. In that paper, we have to study in a rectangular waveguide means up to which frequency we have to analyze. In a circular waveguide means up to which frequency we have to analyze. So those are all in that medium. So we can select how the antenna will work on that medium. So we have to go for a microwave sectors. In that microwave sectors, we having two categories. One is in a rectangular waveguide. So rectangular waveguide means we getting a narrow band or else in a wide band. So narrow band means a high gain, and a wide band means less gain. So these are the conditions is there. Okay, and move on to the next thing for that means a satellite or biomedical applications, whatever it is, I have to study. So these things is coming under an application oriented progress. So entire 4 years will help to design a single antenna. Without the 4 years help, they can't do design a single antenna. So we need to study about all the things clearly. In a wireless communications also you study in a third year or final year. And the paper will help to application oriented progress. So tomorrow in a software oriented we enter into a software things means that software I'll explain each and every part where we used here. In a signal sun system where we use our matrix and where we use, so everything will show on it. Okay.
Right. Thank you, Vinod. We had today a good session, and moreover, indirectly, you have motivated the students to learn all the subjects so that they can get into this this antenna design field. Thank you. Hope the students have enjoyed this session. We'll see you on tomorrow's session. Thank you.
Sure. And thanks to all. And one more information. End of the day, we'll give one task. Anyone interested means do this. Do the task. If you do well means we'll give an internship for you, especially for an antenna design purpose. Thanks to all, and thanks, ma'am.
Thank you, Vinod.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am.